number of people have asked me to elaborate on how to stack a dog correctly. So in learning how and where to put your dog's feet, I'm going to show you a little bit on my puppy and show you where I stack him from. And while the rest of the world, or excuse me, the rest of the country is freezing in a polar vortex, we have gorgeous sunny weather here in Seattle, but shh, it always rains here. All right, to start stacking your puppy or your dog, you want to stack the front leg underneath the shoulder. So you need to know where your point of shoulder is on your dog. For Deuce, it's right here. You always want to pick up the foot at the elbow because you have the most control. If you pick it up down here, the dog can put it anywhere they want. You have the control at the elbow, you can turn the elbow in, you can push it up straight. So I pull it up. I'm also, when I do that, I have his collar, so I have control of his head. I always have control of my dog's head. I've got a little bit of hair in my hand as well. I pick up the leg and I put it directly down from his point of shoulder. So it's underneath him. So if you push it up forward, when the judge goes over the shoulder, you lose that angle in the shoulder, which in a Bernese Mountain Dog, you want that angle there. It is important to know your dog's standard. So I put the elbow underneath the shoulder and I make the other side. Usually it wants to go straight down from the body. Obviously in a bulldog, you're going to be out here. Bernese Mountain Dog, you're going to come straight down from the elbow to the shoulder. Good boy, Deuce, come here. So quickly to recap, I grab the elbow, put it underneath the point of the shoulder, and the other side I do the same. For the rear, I'm going to move him forward so you can see. For the rear is, and just so you know, you stack the judge's side front first, your side front second, then you go to the back. Still holding his head so he knows his head needs to be straight when we're stacking him. I go to the rear, I pick it up at the hock. The hock joint is right here, the point of the hock. Good boy, you're a good boy. Stay there, buddy. Pick it up at the hock, and I want the hock to be straight when I place it down. So I pulled him up a little bit. This hock should be at a perpendicular angle to the ground. So it's straight up and down. And then I move the other one to be underneath the body and still straight up and down. Some people have a preference of stacking their dog wide in the rear. I like that to be underneath the rear to show the strength that the dog can be underneath itself. And then you pull the dog up and over itself. So it's up and over the point of the shoulder to the elbow. I should be able to see my foot underneath it. If it's out forward, it's too far forward. So, and it depends on, you can shift your dog's weight a lot, you see. You can shift your dog's weight a lot in the stack. So if I'm just standing here, stay. He's gonna kind of relax back into it. If I have him up on the bait or up over himself, I can pull him up and over his shoulders. So that's why you pull him up and over. Good boy, buddy. You're being a good kid. So again, know your breed standard, but for most 4-square breeds, the elbows are underneath the shoulder and the hocks are straight up and down in the rear. And learning in front of a mirror or a video camera is a really good way to make sure you're doing it right, to see if your dog looks good. Because if you don't get that rear out where it's in a 90-degree angle, you can get a dog that's understacked. So he's too short stacked here, and I could pull him up over himself all I want, but he's still not going to look good in the rear until I put this foot back a little bit to where it's at a 90-degree angle, and he's stretched out a tad, stretched out a little bit, and he's using his rear. So hopefully that answers some questions for some people on how to stack your dog correctly.